This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good morning, I'm Lauren Casey. The time right now is 4:27. It's Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana. Several things to get to before we get into our show today, starting with the case count here in the state of Indiana for the coronavirus. You can see the new numbers from the state health department on your screen right now. We can tell you that in terms of new cases, we are down for the third day in a row, but the number of deaths is up. Sometimes the number of deaths lags, and it may be over a few day period or a few week period when those get counted from various counties across our state. We can tell you that there are 57 new deaths reported yesterday and that the positivity rate for the coronavirus testing is about 15% right now. So we'll continue to break down those numbers for you and bring them to you throughout the morning. Something else we want to talk about are some new changes coming to parts of downtown Indianapolis. We know Marion County lags behind the state in terms of the reopening phases. And so we're learning that on Friday, restaurants in Marion County and Indianapolis will be allowed to open to customers, but only if they use outdoor seating. So what does that mean? Several restaurants don't have patios or options to do outdoor seating. So the city is planning on closing several area streets to vehicular traffic to allow more tables to be put out on sidewalks and making pedestrians go out in the street. We're going to be talking to some local restaurants about how this impacts them. Some saying that this is going to change up their carry-out model that has been working for them the past few weeks. And there's obviously a number of restaurants that aren't on these closed streets. So how will this impact businesses in Indianapolis? And will we see more closures because of this? That is coming up with our Alyssa Donovan in just a few minutes. We do want to take a turn right now to our forecast. Todd Clausen is standing by from home. And Todd, I think we're all ready to dry out a little bit.
You know, we are going to dry out. That is the good news, Lauren. I can't guarantee much in the way of sunshine today, but at least we'll start to dry out from all the rainfall that we've seen the past couple days. Yesterday, the rain wasn't heavy for the most part in the afternoon, but it just kind of kept coming off and on throughout the day with just some light rain and then some drizzle here and there. Temperatures right now are sitting in the 50s and 60s, and I can't rule out the chance of maybe a stray shower in the forecast here this morning. But overall, we are looking at just skies that'll be cloudy throughout the day today. And then as far as the temperatures go, we're not really going to warm a whole lot throughout the day today. We're looking at temperatures that'll eventually only get up to right around 62 degrees. Right now we're at 55. So again, there's not a lot of warming that takes place, but at least we get rid of the rainfall as we transition to the end of the week here. And the weekend, we're still on track for much warmer air to work in. We'll talk more about that, Lauren, coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Another story we'll have for you coming up in the 6 o'clock hour is a company based in Fishers that does proximity tracking. Instead of using machines, they're tracking people to people to help with social distancing. That tool and more coming up here on Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 4:30 on Good Morning Indiana, restaurants in Marion County will be open for outdoor seating Friday, and now the city is offering to help some. Now, how local restaurants are reacting to expanding seating on the streets. This morning, all 50 states will be reopened to some degree, while one state may be facing a risk for possibly moving too quickly. And homeowners in Marion County are concerned about a 5G rollout coming to their neighborhood. Call 6 Investigates is finding out why they're upset and what you can do if you find yourself in the same situation. But first, we want to thank you for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana on your Wednesday. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is reporting from home again this morning. Todd, good morning to you. What can we expect in our midweek forecast?
Hey, Lauren, good morning to you as well. We have lots of clouds there today. I know that's not what you wanted me to hear. I mean, everybody wants some sunshine back in their lives here after 2 very wet days for us, but at least we've gotten rid of the rain for the most part across the area. And all the clouds and the rain we've been dealing with, part of an area of low pressure that's just been so slow to move, and it's been slow to move because of the tropical system that was out in the Atlantic earlier in the week. But here is a live look at Storm Team 6 radar, and and there's not a whole lot going on. But you do notice still some clouds around, and then there's some showers here near Cincinnati. And it's none of the question that a couple of these showers could work their way back into the forecast here this morning. But overall, we're not looking at a lot in the way of rainfall as that low again slowly just creeps off towards the east. Temperatures this morning are in the 50s for the most part, a couple 60s out there. And as we work our way throughout the day today, we are just looking at mostly cloudy skies throughout the entire day and a high temperature, Lauren, right around 62 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now over on the west side. This is I-465 near the Sam Jones Expressway. Traffic here is moving along up to speed. Several headlights out that way, no delays to slow you down. So let's take you up to the north side. This is a live picture of I-465, a view here near Michigan Road. Traffic is moving along up to speed on the north side, both eastbound and westbound. No crashes, no delays right now on your roads in this area to slow you down. Well, we do want to take a turn right now to Hamilton County. New from overnight, Metro Police are investigating a deadly hit-and-run crash. This is on the east side. Rather, it happened at 10:30 on the intersection of 38th Street and Arlington Boulevard. Officers say one person was dead at the scene. It's unclear if there were any other injuries. Police have not released any suspect information at this time. Now to Hamilton County, where investigators are working to identify a driver after a deadly hit-and-run crash. The sheriff's office says a truck hit and killed a woman around 4:30 Tuesday afternoon as she was walking along Anthony Road near US 31 and East 236th Street. Authorities are looking for a silver or gray Ford F-150 with tinted rear window model years between 1997 and 2003. There may also be damage on the driver's side front corner. If you have any information, please call 317-773-1282. Now to the latest on the COVID-19 outbreak here in the state of Indiana. The State Department of Health reporting 57 new deaths from the virus. Some of those newly reported deaths date back to mid-April. That brings the state's death toll to 1,678. 481 new positive cases were reported. More than 28,000 of those cases have been confirmed since the pandemic began. 189,000 people have tested so far, and about 15.2% of those tests have come back positive. This morning, a new COVID-19 testing site is opening up at Warren Central High School. The school is partnering with the Marion County Health Department to offer free drive-through and walk-through testing. The site runs from 6 to 2 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It will be closed on Memorial Day. Those showing COVID-19 symptoms are encouraged to get tested, as well as those over the age of 65 or frontline essential workers. Testing is by appointment only. You can register online at the Marion County Health Department's website or call the number on your screen for help. Starting Friday, restaurants in Marion County will be allowed to open outdoor seating areas. In a press conference, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogg said confirmed plans to use the streets to support those businesses. We first told you Monday night that some streets in parts of downtown Indianapolis, including Mass Ave as well as Broad Ripple Avenue, will close to traffic starting Friday. The goal is to help give restaurants space to set up outdoor dining and give people space to walk without crowding sidewalks. While this may seem unprecedented, the director of the Department of Public Works says these locations are regularly closed for events during the year. The street closures are expected to last through July 4th. We talked to a local restaurant on Mass Ave about the city's plan. Basbo's Pizza has been busy with carry-out and delivery orders during the pandemic, but now they will be able to have outdoor seating. Manager Nick Waterfill says they will consider adding more space in the streets. He says closing Mass Ave will force changes to their current carry-out plan, possibly diverting pickup and delivery orders to the building's other entrance on New York Street.
We always adapt. We're able to keep the business going, and we'll just adapt again.
Well, if a restaurant wants to expand or add outdoor dining to their area, they must apply for a temporary outdoor seating permit. Mayor Hogsett says that restaurants can get those permits fast-tracked. You can find more information at theindychannel.com. This morning, for the first time in weeks, all 50 states are in some phase of reopening. But even as we learn that some encouraging news about the likelihood of reinfection, residents across the country are torn over whether it's too soon to open. ABC's Karina Mitchell has the latest.
Across the country, all 50 states finally entering some phase of reopening. In Minnesota, long lines forming at this DMV, residents anxious to renew their licenses.
I figured I'd come about an hour before and get in line.
In hard-hit New York, ultraviolet light now being used to clean subways and buses to speed up the ability to commute to work. Authorities spending $1 million on the devices, hoping the light will stop the coronavirus in its tracks. Even as restrictions are lifted, new protests are erupting. In Connecticut, the final state to begin reopening, salon owners furious after learning they won't be included in today's Phase 1 plan.
The rug got pulled out from underneath us.
And in New Jersey, this gym goer arrested and the gym owner fined for ignoring lockdown rules. ABC News looked at 21 states that eased restrictions at least 2 weeks ago or earlier and found no major reported changes in the hospitalization rate or COVID-19 deaths. But a new CDC study highlights the risk of reopening, tracing a cluster of infections in Arkansas to a single church. More than a third of the 92 people who attended got sick. 3 people died. But one positive turn after fears that coronavirus patients in South Korea had been reinfected, the South Korean CDC saying results showing relapses could actually be a fluke, not a relapse due to testing failures.
These results are very encouraging and should be very reassuring to the public.
And in a sign of just how far we've come, the governor of Texas saying child care facilities can reopen immediately, setting the stage for the return of summer camp. Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
The Indiana Dunes National Park is reopening part of its beaches for Memorial Day weekend. The park will open a stretch of Porter Beach, parking lots, and restrooms on Saturday. Officials say they will be monitoring beachgoers to make sure that they are practicing social distancing. The area was closed at the beginning of May after overcrowding and unsafe sanitation during the pandemic. The Northwest Indiana Times reports that park officials will close the beach again if visitors are not following safety guidelines. For more than a year, it's been our mission to find you a job through our Hiring Hoosiers initiative. Even though COVID-19 has hit our economy hard, many companies are still hiring. So let's get right to the Hiring Hoosiers job feed. Steak and Shake is looking for a marketing manager to join the corporate team in Indianapolis. Responsibilities include developing, executing, and managing marketing campaigns on multiple platforms. Commercial Air needs sheet metal installers, pipe fitters, and licensed plumbers. The company does work in Indianapolis, Lafayette, Muncie, Franklin, and Greenfield. The Jessen Funeral Home in Whiteland wants to hire 2 licensed funeral directors. The family-owned company says they have flexible scheduling. If you're interested, call John Jessen at 317-535-6880. Again, that's 317-535-6880. To see even more available jobs with a link to the application process, you can go to the Hiring Hoosiers job board. That's at hiringhoosiers.com. Well, there are new concerns this morning about 5G structures coming to Marion County neighborhoods. Nearly 400 families live near North Willow Farms at 86 and Ditch. They found out about a 5G rollout after seeing a public notice in the newspaper saying Verizon wants to build a 47-foot tower in the middle of their neighborhood. The Homeowners Association president did some research and found Verizon wants to install other structures in their neighborhood. He reached out to Verizon, the city, and the state lawmakers to see if North Willow Farms can have a say in where the structures go.
And designated for underground utilities. We've worked with IPL to verify that the neighborhood is designated for underground utilities, and so it surprises us that Verizon could get permission to install a bunch of towers throughout the neighborhood.
One of the things we have to do is educate the contractors as they come into this business that just throwing up a bunch of poles and running away is not the solution.
The city says they're in the process of reviewing pending applications. Verizon Wireless's website says it's already started to install small cells in central Indiana and will continue over the next few years. Senate Bill 213 passed the legislature in 2017 and authorized this massive rollout of small cell wireless structures all over the state. If you're concerned, your best option is to contact your state lawmakers and the wireless company. Many countries across the world are seeing a decrease in coronavirus cases, but places like Brazil are growing hotspots. Coming up, why the country's president is still fighting against lockdown restrictions. And with high demand for medical equipment, hospitals are finding new ways to get what they need. Still ahead, the online platform helping them to swap essential supplies. Todd.
And Lauren, we continue to deal with this stubborn area of low pressure that is just spinning away across parts of the Midwest and now towards the eastern half of the country. The good news is the rain is slowly moving off towards the east. The bad news is we are stuck with the clouds for the day today. We'll talk all about that and look ahead to the rest of your Storm Team 6 forecast coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 4:41.
4:30 to 7.
More than 1.6 million people around the globe have recovered from COVID-19, according to Johns Hopkins University. But some countries are still seeing a surge in cases. Brazil recorded its highest number of coronavirus deaths and cases in one day yesterday. More than 1,100 new deaths were confirmed, along with 17,000 new cases. The country ranks third in total cases worldwide. U.S. is first, followed by Russia. Brazil's president continues to rally against social distancing measures and has referred to the coronavirus as, quote, a little flu. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has released new guidelines for reopening the country. The 60-page report details the steps the federal agency suggests U.S. takes as it moves away from the stay-at-home orders due to the pandemic. It includes a detailed roadmap of how schools, restaurants, transit, and child care facilities should safely reopen. It's slightly shorter than the 68-page document from last week. The White House shelved that version after concerns that it was too specific. A senior CDC official says references to faith-based guidance was taken out of the original version. CVS Health says it's returning $43 million it received from the government for coronavirus relief. The company says it did not request the money, and it was given as part of the CARES Act Relief Fund. The Department of Health and Human Services says the fund gives $175 billion to hospitals and healthcare providers involved in the coronavirus response. CVS Health hopes its share of the money will go to others who need it. The supplies needed at hospitals are shifting, so now online platforms are popping up to help arrange a swap between facilities. One of them is a collaboration between Stanford Healthcare, Premier, and the logistics software company Resolink. All providers need to do is log into the system and share what they need and see if it's being offered by another healthcare system. In return, they can give them the supplies that they may have a surplus of. The group says it's designed to help fill the gaps while waiting for regular distributions to arrive. At the peak of the pandemic last month, the world cut its daily carbon emissions by 17%. That's according to a new study from an international team of scientists. However, they say success is likely short-lived. With life inching back to normal, scientists say the pollution break will be comparable to a drop in the ocean in larger view of climate change. Still, they predict levels this year will end up being 4 to 7% lower than 2019. That would be the biggest drop in carbon pollution since World War II. All right, Todd, it's 4:46. Let's get a look at our forecast right now and see what's going on the radar. I'm hoping that it's not as busy today.
You know, the radar is not as busy today. That is the good news. But the satellite picture, that's going to be pretty busy, as unfortunately we're going to be dealing with lots in the way of clouds once again across central Indiana. Here is a live look at Storm Team 6 radar, and there was never any real heavy rainfall yesterday. It was just kind of more pesky showers throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours, and just overall that damp feel. But we still have the clouds in place. You notice there looks like there's a few breaks on in the clouds. Those will quickly fill in here throughout the course of the morning hours. Then you see this little band of showers that's here off towards the Cincinnati area. This will continue to work its way back towards our area as well as we go throughout the day today. With that said, I think it's only just a stray shower or two throughout the morning hours. The area of low pressure yesterday was here in central Kentucky. Today you can see it down closer to the Atlanta area. So it only moved about 100 to 200 miles throughout the course of the past 24 hours. That's a very, very slow moving weather system. And since it's somewhat in the vicinity of the area, we're going to have to unfortunately keep these clouds in the forecast throughout much of the day today. TrueCast shows that stray shower or two this morning and otherwise just the mostly cloudy skies. There may be a few peaks of sunshine later on this afternoon, but that should be just about it. We're not looking for any prolonged periods of sunshine throughout the day today. And as a result, the temperatures, they are not going to warm a whole lot throughout the day. Temperatures right now sit in the 50s and 60s, right at 50 in Richmond, right at 60 in Lafayette, as well as Sullivan. 55 is the current temperature in Martinsville and Tipton, looking at a temperature right now of 54 degrees. Going throughout the course of the day today, there are the clouds that are in place. 58 degrees by the noon hour. With high temperatures today, it'll be topping off right around 61 degrees. Our normal high is 74 to 75 degrees now. So it's a below normal day for us with the clouds that will be in place. And then tomorrow, a little bit warmer. We're up to 65 degrees, but the real warmth in this forecast, that does not arrive until we get to the end of the week and the weekend. Friday's a nice day, 75 degrees. We get the sunshine back, and then there will be the chance of storms Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. As we go throughout that long weekend, we're looking at temperatures that will be in the low to mid 80s across the area. I think the storms are pretty spotty on Saturday and Sunday. They get a little more numerous as we get into especially the day on Tuesday, but there will be a lot of dry hours, Lauren, mixed in to enjoy that warmth that'll be building in all across the area.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's a live look right now at traffic. I-65 and Lafayette Road. You can see traffic here to our northwest is pretty quiet. Traveling up to speed, no issues to slow you down. So taking you over to the northeast side at this hour, I-465 and East 56th Street. Looks like traffic here is moving along up to speed, northbound and southbound as well. We'll keep you updated if there are any issues to slow you down on your commute this Wednesday. It is 4:50. Johnson & Johnson says it will no longer make talc baby powder. Instead, they'll only sell cornstarch based powder. The company says it made the decision so it could focus on the high demand items during the coronavirus pandemic. Talc powder has been the subject of several lawsuits over the past few years. Tens of thousands of women have claimed it led to ovarian cancer. Others say asbestos in the talc caused mesothelioma. Now, neither of the claims have been proven, and all talc products have been required to be free of carcinogens since the 1970s. Wendy Williams is taking some time off from her popular daytime talk show to focus on her health. According to her social media accounts, Williams is battling symptoms of Graves' disease. The posts read that, quote, she'll be taking some time off as she continues to receive treatment. Now, a return date has not been announced. She also took a break from her show in 2018 to deal with the autoimmune disorder on her doctor's orders. The Belmont Stakes will make history for multiple reasons this year. This will be the first time the race will be the starting line for the Triple Crown. It's usually the final leg. The race has been set for June 20th in Belmont, just east of New York City, but state officials announced there will not be any spectators at the racetrack, and of course it will be cut down to 1 1/8 miles. As for the other two races, the Kentucky Derby is scheduled for September 5th at Churchill Downs in Louisville, and the Preakness Stakes are slated for October 3rd at the Pimlico Racecourse in Baltimore. The life changes during the coronavirus can be especially confusing to kids, of course. And so after the break, we'll show you the fun way a college student came up with a way to teach them about staying healthy during this pandemic. And while the COVID-19 restrictions are causing a strain on most businesses, some are thriving. And coming up at 5 o'clock, we're checking in with local food trucks who are seeing business booming. We'll be right back.
RTV6 is working for you.
Welcome back. It is 4:55. Here's a live look right now at traffic on the northeast side, I-465 and I-69. You can see traffic is moving along up to speed in all directions. No crashes around the metro area at this early hour, and that is good news. A Connecticut college student has come up with a fun way to teach kids about the coronavirus. 22-year-old Olivia Carlson invented this quarantine bear, or QT bear as he calls them. It's a face mask wearing teddy bear that comes with a matching mask for its young owner. There's also a handwritten note and a list of tips to stay healthy. Now, she began making the bears, posted on social media, and from there the orders poured in. Carlson says that she hopes the bears also give kids a little bit of comfort during this time. All right, Todd, we are looking ahead to our forecast, and we can see Memorial Day there on our screen, and so that's some good news. It looks like we have some sun peeking out behind the clouds for the weekend ahead.
Yeah, you know, eventually we will get there, Lauren, and with the sunshine will come the warmth, which obviously the 80s kind of jump out at you here on your 7-day planning forecast. But today and tomorrow still a little on the cool side. We're in the 60s. I know that's cooler than the average high is 74, but it's not terrible. Remember last week we were in the 40s with clouds, so it always could be worse. 75 with partly cloudy skies on Friday, and then there are those 80s for the weekend. Some spotty storms Saturday and Sunday. They will be a little more numerous, I think, late Memorial Day and then into the day on Tuesday, but we are not looking at any washouts, so that is certainly good news if you do have plans on this holiday weekend. The time now is 4:57. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.